So Samsung just dropped the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and you might be asking yourself, is it worth upgrading from the S23 Ultra? Well, today we're going to be breaking it all down. We'll compare the camera, battery life, performance, and most of all, whether it's worth your money. Let's dive right in. At first glance, you might think, wait a minute, did Samsung actually change anything? And you will not be wrong. The S25 Ultra looks almost identical to the S23 Ultra. They've both got a similar boxy design, they've both got an S Pen, they've both got the same 6.8-inch AMOLED display, but I promise you there's a difference. Samsung's pushed the peak brightness of the S25 Ultra all the way up to 3000 nits, which means insane outdoor visibility and an even more vibrant display. Is it really a game changer? Maybe not, but if you're all about that vibrant, smooth display, then this might be it for you. Now let's talk about power. The S25 Ultra packs the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 chip, and as mentioned in my previous video, it's absolutely beastly. You get faster speeds, better efficiency, and it's just an absolute monster for gaming. Compared to the 2-year-old Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 you're gonna see on the S23 Ultra, you'll get about 20% better performance in the CPU and GPU. Apps open quick from both phones. Multitasking is similar on both phones, unless you're actually using some really demanding apps. Then why not just go for the S25 Ultra at that point? It's the latest and greatest. But yeah, all in all, is it a day and night difference between the two phones? Not really, if I'm being honest. If you've got an S23 Ultra, the last thing you're doing is struggling for power. That phone has enough power to last you for another couple years. If you want the absolute latest and greatest, or you just use really demanding apps on a day-to-day basis, then the S25 Ultra's 8 Gen 4 chip will cause you absolutely no problems. Alright, the camera lovers out there, here is where it gets interesting. The S23 Ultra already had an insanely good 200 megapixel camera, and the S25 Ultra is keeping it the exact same, but instead what they've changed is the image processing algorithm. Low light shots are brighter and better, and HDR shots just got even better as well, making your photos stand out more. And as we all know, Samsung ditched the 10x optical zoom that we saw on the S23 Ultra and swapped it out with a 5x optical zoom. In my opinion, this doesn't seem as bad as it looks on paper, because they did enough with the software to balance it out, and it does slightly look a bit better, if I'm being honest. But all in all, some will love it and some will hate it. It's just your personal preference. I haven't really noticed any difference in zoom quality when I swapped from my 10x zoom on the S22 Ultra to the 5x zoom on the S24 Ultra. And for the video, the new AI video stabilization makes your videos look almost gimbal-like. If you vlog or shoot a lot of video content, then you absolutely appreciate it, but is it enough of a reason for you to upgrade? Well, if you look at the camera as a whole and you care a lot about zooming, then you might actually miss that 10x optical zoom, because Samsung's reasoning there was that you can do a lot more with a 5x optical zoom range compared to a 10x shot. For example, telephoto shots. 5x is probably more suitable for telephoto than 10x. So if you want the actual raw zooming power of to zoom further, you will miss the 10x shot. But if you don't really zoom that far and you prefer more of the telephoto zoomed in look, then the 5x shot, the 5x telephoto lens will absolutely have no problems for you. And on the other hand, if you care about the photo quality, then I don't think you'd see that much of an improvement with the new image processing algorithm. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, it's actually good, and if you nitpick, you can see some differences. But for the average consumer, if you want to see an actual difference, like that you can tell, yeah, this is an older phone than this, I would say wait a couple more years before you can actually see that visual change. By the way, if you've made it so far into the video, it means you're enjoying it and gaining some valuable information, so hitting that subscribe button down below will absolutely mean the world to me. I'm so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so you can help be a part of that journey. Don't forget to hit the like button as well whilst you're down there. Battery life, that's usually the deal breaker, am I wrong? Well, the S25 Ultra has a more efficient chip and a better thermal management than the S23 Ultra, which ultimately means that it has a longer battery life than the S23 Ultra. but not exactly by that much. We're talking maybe an extra hour, maybe 2 hours if you're lucky. But you've also got to keep in mind that if you're looking to get the S25 Ultra, you've probably kept your S23 Ultra for about 2 years now. That's if you bought it when it launched. So that's 2 years worth of battery degradation, and the S25 Ultra just launched. It's not even been shipped yet. So that's a fresh battery, 100% battery health out the pack. You've got to have that in consideration as well. And the charging speed, well, don't expect much from Samsung here because they're playing it safe and sticking with the 45-watt fast charging that you can see and saw on the previous generations of Ultra phones. In my opinion, it's not something, well, at first, now I'm actually making this video, I do want to see faster charging because it never really used to bother me because 45 watts used to be enough, but I'm running into a lot more occasions now where I would want my phone to charge a bit faster. I thought 45 watts was fast enough, but for some reason over the years, since the S22 Ultra days, I've slowly wanted to see faster charging. So yeah, give me that 60 watts, 70 watts fast charging that I can see on other Chinese manufacturers. But I'm not completely blaming Samsung for playing it safe here, because after what happened with the Note 7 and them losing hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, yeah, they might as well play it safe at this point. Now here's something cool. Samsung is pushing AI heavily with One UI 7 on the S25 Ultra. The S25 Ultra introduces advanced version of live translation during phone calls, AI powered photo and video editing, and they've got a new AI that can summarize your notes automatically, so that's something new. Most of these features is going to trickle down to the S23 Ultra, but Samsung is also promising longer software updates with the S25 Ultra, which is natural because it's a phone that's 2 years newer than the S23 Ultra. So if you're planning to keep your phone for years to come, this might be worth considering. One UI 7 is absolutely amazing on the S25 Ultra. The animations are absolutely beautiful. Samsung is getting there. I wouldn't say they're there yet because we've still got to keep putting pressure on them. We're spending thousands and thousands on these phones every couple of years, if not every year. So the pressure have always got to be on them. So Samsung, they are getting better, but it's looking good. It's looking really promising. But One UI 7 is also coming to the S23 Ultra, so in a couple of months. So One UI 7 shouldn't really be a major factor as to why you should upgrade to the S25 Ultra. Well, that's unless you're after the really niche features in One UI 7 that requires the new updated hardware on the S25 Ultra that the S23 Ultra doesn't have. Alright, let's answer the big question now. Should you upgrade, or is the upgrade worth your money? If you have the S23 Ultra, I would say honestly no. The changes on the S25 Ultra compared to the S23 Ultra is mostly refinements. Your phone is still an absolute powerhouse with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. The camera still has decent performance. I wouldn't even say it's decent, it's still really good in 2025. And One UI 7 is going to come to the S23 Ultra in a couple of months. And One UI 7 is the main selling point of the S25 Ultra. So there's no major reason I could actually use to justify you upgrading to the S25 Ultra unless you have a major trading deal that saves you hundreds of dollars and an extra coupon here and there, because Samsung loves America. They give them all the amazing deals. So yeah, unless you've got that, then I don't really see any point in upgrading yet. One thing I did forget to mention is that the Bluetooth on the S Pen has been removed on the S25 Ultra. So if you use a lot of air gestures, you keep the S23 Ultra or just get the S24 Ultra, because the air gestures are gone. It's a feature that you can't get anymore. So it makes me appreciate the air gestures on my S24 Ultra now. Watch this video here to learn more about the new features on the newly released S25 Ultra. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter, the link is going to be in the description. And I'll catch you in the next one.